Sir, the next candidate is Mr. Chiranjeevi.
Yeah.
Chiranjeevi. Chiranjeevi, Tiruvidula.
Sir, yes, sir.
Chiranjeevi, can you please introduce yourself to the members of the board?
Sir. Good afternoon to you all, sir.
3 minutes.
Sir, sorry, sir. I couldn't hear you, sir.
Introduce yourself in about 2-3 minutes. Speak about
Sure,
yourself, your career,
sure. Yes,
your
sir.
education.
Yes, sir. Noted, sir. So my name is Chiranjeevi, and I've done my graduation in mechanical engineering in Gokraju Rangaraju Institute of Engineering and Technology. And after that, I worked as operations manager in handicrafted rollover private limited. And after that, I got selected in the Group 1 service, Andhra Pradesh, assistant enforcement superintendent in Special Enforcement Bureau, sir. And coming to my strengths, I'm a hard worker, sir, from the childhood. And
Did those who wrote your CRs mention that fact? You have been in government service. Did your bosses mention the fact that you are a hard worker?
Yes, sir. My boss has mentioned that I'm a hard worker, sir.
Okay, good. Good.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
So, and my strengths, my other strengths are leadership. From the childhood itself, I have held many leadership positions, so I've inculcated the leadership.
Chiranjeevi, I think your audio and video, there is a problem. You can switch off your video if it is not supporting both.
Sir, yes, sir, noted, sir. I'll switch it off, sir.
Yeah, please continue.
Yes, sir. And my other strength is working as a team manager and a team leader based depending on the situation and the crisis it's facing. And coming to my negative, I sometimes think simpler things at micro level, sir. And however, I'm coping up with this negative of mine, where I am drawing a thematic diagram in my mind, where where a simpler thought has come to my mind. If it's worth the time to be given, if it's yes, then I'll be thinking, sir. If it's no, then I will be not thinking, sir. So this is how I'm coping with my negative, sir.
You have been in government service for nearly 3 years now, isn't it?
Sir, no, sir. I've been in government service from the last 9 months, sir.
Achha, this is 2020 exam, isn't it?
Yes, sir. 2020 exam, sir.
Okay. Right. Now, what do you consider as your single most achievement and the significant challenge so far?
Sir. So while I was
volunteering... Where are you working, incidentally, Chiranjeevi? Where are you now?
Sir, I'm working in Special Enforcement Bureau, Kurnool district, sir.
Right. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Sir. So coming to my greatest accomplishment or achievement, while I was working on social media with regard to COVID leads, volunteering, we as a team members were able to save 2 members from Kolkata, sir, due to giving a good amount of good and reliable COVID leads, sir. And the COVID leads concept was, in the second wave, we were having insufficient facilities with regard to medicines, beds, oxygen cylinders, sir. So we, a team of 50 members, we searched with the help of hashtag on Twitter, and we connected the beneficiaries with the availability, with the real-time information of the COVID leads, sir. So that was my greatest accomplishment. And coming to my greatest challenge, while performing this social duty, sir, we were facing with innumerable troubles, sir. Because whenever we search for COVID leads, it used to be get over in 2 to 3 minutes, sir. So we used to call them who are holding the COVID leads, and then we used to connect them with the beneficiaries, sir.
Which means you played the role of a liaison between those who are able to provide the services and those who require them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, in terms of your experience, what do you suggest should be the statutory changes that should be brought about? Do you think that a watershed like COVID should bring about greater cohesion among administrators and administrative wings?
Yes, sir. Because when the COVID pandemic hit us, sir, the generalist bureaucracy was changed into specialist bureaucracy, sir. Because health department was became a significant body, sir, and the officers who are holding the health department need to be a good reservoir of language with regard to medical experiences, sir. So in this case, we need a greater coordination between the general administration and also health department, sir.
Do you think that we need a law which empowers a district medical and health officer with the powers of the district magistrate in health in times like this? Do you think a law would be helpful?
Sir, yes, sir. It may be tried upon as a pilot project, sir, but taking all the consensus of the various stakeholders involved with regard to this, sir. But only I would like
if he is declared as a district collector of medical and health in brackets, and if he is given emergency powers, he would certainly have the power to summon to requisition any premises, any transport, etc. That's what is the purpose. In an emergency, the powers are with the collector, but then in a pandemic, it should be with the DM and HO, isn't it?
Yes, sir. In only disaster management situations, this may be tried upon, sir.
No, pandemic, COVID was certainly more than a disaster, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Right. Please, the others kindly.
So, Chiranjeevi Tiruvidula,
Yes, sir.
kindly throw light on your surname.
Sir, my surname is Tiruvidula, sir. And Tiruvidula, అంటే వెంకటేశ్వర స్వామిని తిరువీధుల్లో తిప్పుతా ఉండేవారు సార్. సో ఆ పాట ఒక గొప్ప కవి రచించారు సార్. ఆ కవి పేరు నేను ఇప్పుడు గుర్తుపట్టలేక I'm not able to recollect. What do you mean by
Tiruvidula? What is Tiru?
Sir, Tiru, when we go back to Tamil Nadu, sir, Tiru means a great person, sir.
Tiru means?
Brave
a great person. A person great. With intellectuality, sir.
Okay.
Is it brave or great?
Sir, as per my limited knowledge, yes, sir.
It is an honorific. It is an honorific like our Sri.
Sir.
Tiru.
Thank you, sir.
Just as we use Sri as honorific for the elders and honorable people, they use Tiru. Tiru means holy, respectable, great. That kind of meanings are there.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for enriching my knowledge.
I think you are working in Excise Department.
Yes, sir.
So I got so many harsh criticisms about the liquor policy of the present Andhra Pradesh government.
Sir.
What is your impression about the liquor policy of Jagan government?
Sir, the Andhra Pradesh government liquor policy has been changed from prohibition to restriction, sir.
Okay.
Because liquor consumption is a social evil which has been in our society from the ancient times itself. So it needs a step-by-step procedure where we need to go gradually against acting the social evil, sir. And keeping this in mind, we have been increasing the prices of the liquor. At the same time, we have raided around 30,000 unauthorized dealers for the belt shops which we tell. And due to this, the consumption has come down, sir. Recently, our Chief Minister, Y.S. Jagannath Reddy Garu, in the review meeting of Excise Department, he has told that the sales or the human consumption has been come down, sir.
So I came to know that there are so many irregularities regarding the liquor policy of the present government.
Sir.
So many, and according to the opposition and other quarters also, so many obscure brands are being sold by the government with exorbitant prices just for sake of corruption. And there are no digital payments in the government outlets or the whatever the outlets that were permitted by the government. There were no digital payments, and there was a lot of corruption according to opposition and other media sources also. What is your opinion about that?
So, with regard to the diverse brand availability in Andhra Pradesh, it has been reduced because so as to reduce the human consumption, sir, with regard to liquor, so that the people would stop purchasing the brand he needs. So it is due to that policy, sir. And with regard to the digital payments, whether it's in cash or else whether it's in digital payments, in my opinion, it doesn't matter, sir. Because as soon as he keeps the order from the depot, sir, the retail outlet, as soon as he keeps the order, he needs to pay the money for the liquor he has ordered, sir, for the liquor bottles. So that contention do not stand, sir. And in addition to this corruption,
no, but Mr. Chiranjeevi, 1 minute, Mr. Chiranjeevi.
Before there used to be private, sir.
Why do you want cash payments? What's the logic behind this in these days of digitalization? Why do you want cash? Why are we accepting cash? I want to know what's the reason.
Sir, with regard to reason, I'm not much aware of it, sir. Sorry, sir.
No, but you are trying to justify.
Sir.
I want to know why. When every payment, including a newspaper, is now being paid through the Paytm or GPay, why do you accept cash?
Sir, sorry, sir, I'm not aware of why only cash.
So, Chiranjeevi, I had this impression that the Indian state failed the Indian public with respect to the human disaster, the biggest disaster of the century called COVID. The sudden imposition of lockdown without any forethought or preparation, without thinking about the possible jeopardizing of the livelihoods of the poor people, the sudden imposition of lockdown like a thriller movie, the Indian state failed the Indian public in their most what you can say precarious position. When they really need the support of the state, Indian state failed them, especially with respect to COVID. There are so many criticisms about this. Do you justify this?
So with due regards, I would differ with your view, sir. Yes, sir, there have been some irregularities and issues with regard to how the Indian state was dealing with the public. But in our Honorable Prime Minister words, Mr. Narendra Modi Garu, it was a global pandemic and even the world was not prepared for it. So yes, we have fighted against the pandemic, but not in an expected way, sir. It should have been a way greater, sir. And with regard to the lockdown in the first stage, sir, at that time we are lacking epidemiological data about the COVID virus.
So what is the rationale behind this sudden imposition like a thriller movie? He was fond of revealing sudden decisions like a thriller movie. Is it justifiable? Is it okay? Or with just 4 hours window, he simply imposed lockdown, knowing well that most of the people are in unorganized sector working in outside. And there are so many migrant laborers around. According to an estimate, 30 million migrant laborers have been suffered because of the sudden imposition of lockdown. And the state did not bother about their possible problems of livelihood problems when you impose lockdown, not thinking about their livelihoods and other things. State did not support them with any kind of remuneration or whatever it is. So many comments are there that Indian state failed very badly in handling this COVID crisis, especially with respect to the common people or the poor people. Don't you come across these visuals of migrant laborers walking hundreds of miles, breaking their foot, barefoot, and facing all kinds of ordeals, and these police people are harassing them on the way? There are so many thousands of stories we come across. No, that is it the failure of the Indian state or the insensitivity of the Prime Minister or the government or whatever it is?
So with regard to the sudden imposition of lockdown, I support the government, sir, because the lack of biological data and how large is a disaster is with we can recollect the videos or the photos which we have seen from the France or the some countries of Europe, sir. But with regard to the unorganized sector laborers and the unemployed youth, which were the migrant laborers, a much liberal policy would have been there, sir. Like providing a good transportation back to their villages. So in that scenario, the Indian government would have acted in a very viable way, sir. They would have given them support
and there are no failures on the part of the state, according to you. Everything is well.
So with regard to the rehabilitation and taking care of the unorganized sector, the state could have done in a much better way, sir. I don't say it as a failure, sir, because it was a global pandemic the whole world was facing, sir.
So there are people who are commenting that the state was sleeping when the corona was traveling across the globe until it entered India. They were in a sleeping mode, and suddenly they woke up and suddenly imposed lockdown without any forethought or without any consideration of the implications of the sudden. My emphasis on the sudden declaration, not about the lockdown. My emphasis on the way the lockdown was declared. Is it good on the part of the Prime Minister?
So with regard to the sudden imposition, we have not opened our
should have
borders.
Given at least 1 day or 2 days.
So
okay,
yes,
okay.
Sir,
Move on.
been,
Other members,
yes,
please
sir.
kindly take over.
Thank you.
So Venkatesh, sir, please take the lead, sir.
Rakesh.
Sir,
Rakesh, am I audible?
Sir, at present, Mr. Chiranjeevi is there, sir.
Chiranjeevi is there. Okay.
Chiranjeevi,
government has introduced Gram Volunteer and Village Volunteer Department, and they have put volunteers for the supply of services or whatever it is. It is a part of decentralization move.
Sir.
And they are attached to Panchayat Raj and Municipal Administration Department, and in fact, each and every department.
Yes. Sir.
So my point is that instead of putting a separate department, the government should have strengthened one department, say Panchayat Raj or Municipal Department or any other department, and could have engaged much lesser persons.
Sir.
But these people are acting as fixed fingers and interfering in each and everything, and there is a lot of criticism about them. And how can you explain about this? How can we rectify the situation?
So I'd like to make my opinion that the Grama or Ward complementary to the 73rd and 74th Amendments. Sir. The reason being, with regard to the village panchayat system, sir, the rural panchayati Raj system, the panchayati officers, sir, the VROs, village revenue officers, and the panchayati secretaries, they are burdened with executive and also the policy implementation work, sir, policy making work also. And their jurisdiction is very large, sir. So the governance or the services to the people are not carried out in a saturation mode, sir. With regard to the ward committees or the city administration, even this is the case, sir. So to attain the governance to every citizen in an accountable and transparent way, we have introduced this system, sir. And we have enhanced the beneficiaries, and there has been transparency in a micro level examination of the beneficiaries also, sir. So I would say it's complementing it's complementing the 73rd and 74th Amendment, sir. And the spirit of the democracy at the grassroots level is well shown by this institution, sir.
But there is a lot of criticism on them. Of late, there is a lot of criticism, and that the government is creating a lot of freebies, and we are going to doorsteps and making the people more and more lazy. And how can we rectify that?
So the issues with regard to the Grama or Ward Sachivalayam is that there is a face-off between the political representatives and the bureaucrats, sir, who are appointed by the government. So more of a coordination must be there between the both, sir. And with regard to the services going to the home, I think it would be, it won't be a wrong thing, sir, because governance says that we need efficient delivery of services and goods, and whether it's at the doorstep or else whether it's at the whether it's at the officers, it doesn't matter, sir. And if we give it the doorstep, then we can include many number of members.
Okay, you are a good mechanical engineer. So having completed in 2013.
Yes, sir.
13, isn't it? Huh?
Yes, sir.
And you are coming to civil services.
Sir.
And in 8 years of service, you could have reached a 6-digit salary in your own department, and you would have a luxurious life. Instead of that, why are you coming to this government sector? And often government sector is thankless, and you may not, I'm afraid, you may not succeed to that extent. And what is your ambition in coming to government service?
So, with regard to the functions carried out by the government, such as the regulatory functions, the tax collection and the law and order enforcement, and the other functions like welfare administration and social development functions, these are my interest spheres, sir. And coming to the salaries thing, sir, yes, I would be having a very nice salary in the private sector, but the kind of the social recognition in which I have in the government sector, I would be missing in the private sector, sir.
Okay, next member, please.
Yes, Mr. Chiranjeevi.
Yes,
Chiranjeevi,
yes, sir.
What is your hobby? You didn't mention. The hobby column was vacant.
So, with due regards, I've mentioned as martial arts, sir.
Martial arts is your hobby. You do it for your pleasure, or is it a part of your skill enhancement?
So I perform nunchucks and I perform katas if I feel stressed, sir. And in my the office, like na kali time lo kuda nenu chesta untanu, sir. Nunchucks avani adi chesta unte నాకు stress relief avudum.
Apart from that, any other hobby that you developed?
Sir, nothing in particular, sir. Ante cricket unded, sir. But
okay.
అది కొంచెం లాస్ట్. Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. Obvious, sir. You take over.
Sir. Yeah, Chiranjeevi garu, you studied in Hyderabad, your schooling, college and graduation. So,
yes,
have you selected under non-local category in AP Group 1 services?
Sir, no, sir. I belong to Bapatla district, sir. I did my schooling 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th in Andhra Pradesh, sir. So consecutive 4 years is taken as a local candidate, right, sir?
Okay.
I belong to Bapatla district, sir. Chirala Revenue Division, sir.
Okay. Right. So presently you are working in Kurnool district. Now,
yes,
can you explain the phase-wise prohibition of liquor in Andhra Pradesh is going to be a reality, or it is a paper tiger?
So, with regard to the reality part, I think we need to wait and watch, sir, because liquor is a social evil which has been in our society down the roots from the ancient society. So, and in addition to that, there is a social acceptance with regard to liquor, sir. Because when we go to any events or else functions, the liquor is present over there, sir. And it's a platform where the person is having, if he is happy or sad, sir. So it's having the innumerous of social contacts, sir. So if the becoming of reality cannot be said, sir, we need some more time, sir.
Is liquor more harmful than smoking? Chiranjeevi garu, sorry to interrupt you. Is liquor is more harmful than smoking?
Sir, to my knowledge, smoking is more harmful, sir. But
why governments are not thinking about banning the cigarettes or smoking instead of liquor? Liquor has its own cultural aspect, and certain communities consumption of liquor on certain occasions is a very, very important thing for them. Among some tribal communities,
Yes, sir.
liquor plays a very important role.
So with
Different
regard
kinds
to
of
smoke-
liquor. Is
Sir,
it good
sir.
on the part of the state to impose this particular moral perspective in a piecemeal approach? If the state is concerned so much about the welfare of the people, it should have banned smoking instead of liquor. What do you say?
Sir, smoking is an individual habit, sir. And habits which are from the individual, they need to be changed from the individual purpose, sir. So he needs to undergo a social and behavioral change, sir. Sensitization must be done to that individual, sir, instead of having a blanket ban on smoking, sir. With regard to sensitization, we need to have some awareness campaigns. The ill effects of smoking must be aware to a number of people, sir. If we put a ban on smoking, sir, it will lead to black marketing, and many people would shift to drugs like cannabis, smoking weed or cannabis, sir, or going to other drugs kind of, sir.
So liquor has been part of our culture. Even gods consume liquor. Even in Vedic times, we have instance of liquor. Why are you so dead against liquor?
Mr. Nandan, I think we need to be a little more fast.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We
sir.
have just done 3 in 2 hours. I think we need to be faster. So
Yes, sir.
can we quickly have the feedback and then move on to the next?
So last question, sir, Mr. Chiranjeevi, last question from my side. See, as you said, as liquor become part of our culture or different occasions, we used to have it for good or bad, in happy mood or sad mood. I mean, as you said, I mean, liquor is something like a mandatory item that is to be there. But there are states like Gujarat and Bihar. They have complete ban on liquor, but they are prospering. Particularly Gujarat is prospering in all aspects. And as per some reports, the crime rate on women or atrocities on women gradually coming down in states like Bihar. Do you agree with that?
Sir, yes, there has been prohibition going on, but there has been a smuggling network. A syndicate has been formed, sir. And that is dangerous to the society as a whole, sir. With regard to the reduction of violence on women, it is much more regarded to the economic growth that the state is having, sir. More number of educates coming in and good education and good job, those all have an effect on reduction of women violence, sir, than the than the blanket ban on liquor, sir.
Okay. Done. Sir, this is for your remarks, sir.
Right. Now, Mr. Chiranjeevi, you have answered most of the questions in a fairly reasonably good manner.
Thank you, sir.
But I think you should also make use of the provocations or the kind of put situations into which you are put with some knowledge. Sir. For instance, when you were asked about COVID and the failure of the Indian state, you should have immediately brought up the manner in which people died during the Spanish flu. See, Spanish flu, the population of the world was 190 crores, but you had almost 6 crores who died, including Mahatma Gandhi was affected. So you should have some knowledge of the manner in which the pandemic spread these days, given the air travel, which was not there at the time of the Spanish flu.
Spanish flu, yes, sir.
The point I'm trying to make is, when you are driven to a corner, your knowledge of the earlier developments should be of help to you. Similarly, the manner in which the Indian state has been able to bring out vaccine has been commented by most of the countries. So you should have some knowledge of how the government, the scientific community, the technically competent personnel, the institutions have really stood like a rock and evolved this vaccine and have been able to provide to the rest of the world. That's a very strong point. You lost that opportunity. You should not lose it in the future.
Sure.
As regards liquor versus smoking, liquor versus smoking, it's a myth that smoking is more dangerous. Liquor is equally dangerous. There is a recent report of an Oxford study which brought out 60 diseases which are caused by liquor. 60 diseases. So the point I'm making is these are all items which are posed to you for testing your ability to come out of a difficult situation.
Yes, sir.
You should make full use of that with your knowledge. This is the point I'm making, because you have the composure, you are not budging, which is good. And that needs to be backed up by facts. You should not give the impression of being driven to a corner, because you have a lot of data and you need to have that backing of the data. That's all is the point I'm making.
Yes,
and I'm sure you'll
Thank
do
you,
that.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Chiranjeevi, everything is
Sir.
okay.
Sir.
Your voice is okay, and your speed is also okay, and the way the presentation is also okay. Take care of the points just Sir has told. And secondly, you are now appearing in this photo in a black color shirt. Don't attend interview in that shirt and attend in a very light color shirt. And you are also having a beard. Trim it or shave it. It all trim it out, no problem. If you are a bearded person, nothing wrong. You can.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. This is okay.
Yes, already trimmed.
Now you are visible. Now you are visible. And red shirt is also not good. So attend in a
yes, sir.
Light color shirt. And when you are answering long questions, try to look to the all other members also. Look to the other members, so that if you look only to the concerned member, the others may feel ignored. So that's one thing. Remaining thing okay. And one last thing is that when you are differing with the opinion of the questioner, just simply be a little positive. Be a little positive. Don't direct, I'm right, sir, I'm sorry, sir, I'm not accepting, etc., etc. And don't try to blindly support anything. There are certain other facts about the other things also. So try to evaluate that as Sir has told, statistics. Okay, all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Chiranjeevi, your knowledge level is very impressive. And the way you counter tough questions is also okay, except certain limitations. Liquor policy, regarding liquor policy, being an excise officer, you are supposed to be thorough with all the criticisms also. You do not blindly support the government policies. You are just implementing the policy, whatever is in place there. Okay. You need not be naive about the ground reality. You can say a bit. Yes, sir, I too came across that kind of thing, but we are trying to counter it in such a manner. You can say like that.
Yes.
So everyone is knowing what is happening in liquor in Andhra Pradesh, liquor sector. So you need not be naive about it. At the same time, you need not blindly support the government. Mild criticism of the ground reality is okay. So other things are good. You are from Bapatla.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you should be thorough about Bapatla, Vettapalam, Chirala.
Yes, sir.
What is Vettapalam is famous for?
Cashew, sir.
Vettapalam is known for a certain institution, just got international reputation.
Sir, NG Ranga and Agriculture University, sir.
See, Vettapalam is known for its library.
Library is a famous library is there.
Visited by Mahatma Gandhi.
Yeah, yes, sir. That is, it's the most important thing for your area. And Gandhi visited Bapatla and Chirala also.
Yes,
you should be thorough about your area. Guntur district is a very interesting area. You should be thorough. Okay.
By the way, as others has told, our answers and composure is very good. But thorough with this, liquor policy and criticism on it, accept both positive and negatives, and have the knowledge of your local issues like the geography, culture, locality, literature of this Bapatla, Chirala, and other areas. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All the best.
Thank you.